Welcome to this deep dive that it's all about personal growth
Oh, nice.
and those self-limiting beliefs that I think we all kind of bump into, those
Yeah.
things that tell us we can't when we really want to say,
Mhm.
watch me.
For sure.
And we'll be exploring this through 5 different hypnosis downloads.
Okay.
I know hypnosis might sound a little out there for some people, but these downloads,
Yeah.
they offer some surprisingly practical techniques and insights.
Yeah.
So we're going to pull out those golden nuggets
Okay.
and see how they can help you take those watch me leaps.
It's interesting, isn't it, how those downloads use hypnosis to kind of work with our minds on a deeper level.
Yeah.
They kind of bypass our conscious resistance, the part that overthinks everything,
Right.
and tap into that subconscious wellspring of potential.
Yeah. Okay. So first up is stop being lazy.
Okay.
I think we've all felt that feeling of like, ugh, I should be doing more,
Yeah.
but just can't seem to get going.
Totally.
This download tackles that feeling head on.
It does, you see. Instead of focusing on willpower or motivation,
Hmm.
this download dives into how our perception of effort actually shapes our actions.
Okay.
It's not about forcing ourselves.
Right.
It's about reframing effort in a way that makes it more appealing.
How does it do that?
Well, one way is by shifting our focus from instant gratification
Okay.
to what they call the pride of accomplishment.
Okay.
Think of it this way.
Mm-hmm.
Instant gratification is like grabbing fast food.
Okay.
It's quick and easy, but it ultimately leaves you feeling kind of empty.
Yeah.
The download encourages us to savor the process of creating something meaningful, like
Mhm.
preparing a delicious home-cooked meal.
Right.
It takes effort, sure,
Yeah.
but the satisfaction is lasting.
So it's about finding joy in the journey, not just the destination.
Precisely.
Right.
The download actually uses vivid imagery and metaphors to kind of drive this point home. It compares instant gratification to a cheap, ready meal
Yeah.
and the pride of accomplishment to a nourishing, self-cooked one.
I love that analogy. It really
Yeah.
paints a picture
It
of
does.
the different types of satisfaction we can experience.
Yeah, for sure.
What else does it do to shift our perception of effort?
Well, remember that famous 10,000-hour rule,
Oh, yeah.
popularized by Malcolm Gladwell's Outliers?
Of course.
This download cleverly utilizes that concept.
Okay.
It reminds us that even those we consider incredibly talented
Mm-hmm.
have dedicated thousands of hours to mastering their craft.
Right.
It's not just about talent.
Yeah.
It's about consistent, dedicated effort.
So rather than focusing on some mythical talent
Exactly.
that we may or may not possess,
Right.
we're encouraged to focus on what we can control,
Yes.
our effort.
That's a great way to put it.
Okay.
It empowers us to take ownership of our journey
Yeah.
and realize that mastery is within our reach,
Right.
no matter where we're starting from.
I'm already feeling more motivated just thinking about it.
That's great.
Okay. So the next download we're diving into is never give up. It sounds like a powerful message, especially after talking about the importance of effort.
It certainly is.
Yeah.
This one takes the idea of effort and infuses it with unwavering determination.
Okay.
And get this, it starts with some fascinating examples from the animal kingdom.
Oh, wow.
Think about those eels that travel thousands of miles to spawn,
Oh, wow.
or birds that fly across continents to reach their breeding grounds.
Yeah.
They face incredible challenges, but they persevere.
Those animals are hardwired to never give up.
They are?
It makes you wonder, do we humans sometimes underestimate our own capacity for persistence?
It's a good question.
Yeah.
The download seems to suggest that we do.
Interesting.
It reminds us that we share that same fundamental drive to survive and thrive. It's
That's-
encoded within us.
Yeah.
And it emphasizes the importance of tapping into that inner strength to overcome any obstacle.
Okay, so how does it actually help us do that? How do we tap into that never give up spirit?
Well, it uses a technique called visualization. The download guides you to vividly imagine yourself achieving your goals,
Oh,
overcoming challenges,
Right.
and experiencing success.
Yeah.
The idea is that by making the picture of success so compelling,
Mm.
it becomes more difficult to not pursue your goals.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's almost like tricking your brain into believing that success is inevitable.
Right.
And that would definitely make it harder to give up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you know what's interesting?
What's that?
This download also brings back that snowball analogy we discussed earlier.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It encourages you to imagine your efforts gaining momentum,
Right.
just like a snowball rolling downhill.
Uh-huh.
The bigger it gets, the harder it is to stop.
I see the connection.
Yeah.
As you put in more effort.
Yes.
As you overcome those small hurdles,
Exactly.
your determination grows,
Right.
making it harder and harder to deviate from your path.
For sure.
So we've talked about effort, perseverance.
Yeah.
But what about those times when we're just stuck,
Mm-hmm.
paralyzed by indecision?
You're talking about those big life-altering decisions, right?
Yes.
That's where making big decisions comes in.
Those choices that feel so weighty,
Yeah.
so permanent.
Right.
Sometimes I feel like I'm frozen, unable to choose a path, because what if it's the wrong one?
I think we've all been there.
Yeah.
The download acknowledges that feeling of paralysis
Okay.
and offers a really interesting perspective.
Okay.
Instead of agonizing over finding the right decision, it encourages us to aim for a good decision.
Is that because we can never truly know what the right choice is?
The download uses a great analogy to illustrate that point.
Okay.
Imagine you're standing at a fork in the road.
Okay.
You have to pick a path,
Right.
but you won't know if it was the right one until you've traveled down it.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the wrong turns lead to the most incredible discoveries.
That's a comforting thought.
It is.
It takes the pressure off of having to make the perfect choice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's about trusting yourself to make a good decision with the information you have at the time.
Right.
And it's about embracing the detours, the unexpected twists and turns
Yeah.
as opportunities for growth and learning.
I'm starting to see a pattern here.
What's that?
All of these downloads seem to emphasize the importance of taking action,
They do.
even when it feels scary or uncertain.
Absolutely.
Right.
It's about shifting our mindset from fear and doubt
Yeah.
to a place of empowerment and action.
Okay.
And speaking of action, let's talk about one fear that often holds people back.
Okay.
Public speaking.
Oh, yes, public speaking.
Yeah,
I think that's a universal fear, isn't it?
I think so.
Standing up there, all eyes on you,
Yeah.
you could be terrifying.
This download starts with some practical advice.
Okay.
Like knowing your subject well,
Right.
structuring your talk, and practicing, of course.
Of course.
But then it takes a fascinating turn.
Here's where it gets really interesting, right? I remember reading that this download suggests we reframe our entire perspective on public speaking.
You remembered correctly.
Yeah.
It encourages us to shift our focus from delivering a presentation to sharing knowledge.
Okay.
It's about connecting with the audience, engaging with them, and
good.
creating a shared experience.
So instead of seeing it as a performance,
Exactly.
it's more about having a conversation.
That's a great way to put it.
I like-
And it emphasizes the importance of finding that sweet spot between being too relaxed and too nervous. You want to be engaged and energetic,
Right.
but not so wound up that you freeze.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Is there anything else about this download that stood out to you?
Well, it uses this really unique visualization technique to build confidence.
Oh.
It encourages you to rewind and fast forward through your speech in your mind. Imagine mentally rehearsing the entire talk,
Okay.
anticipating potential hiccups,
Yeah.
and creating a smooth flow.
It sounds almost like creating a mental blueprint for success.
It is.
And by visualizing it so clearly,
Yeah,
you're training your subconscious to believe that you can do it.
right.
I love it.
It's clever, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, we've covered a lot of ground, from conquering laziness
Yeah.
to mastering decisions
Right.
to facing our fears on stage.
Right.
But I think there's one more download that's crucial for unlocking our full potential.
I'm guessing you're talking about stop being a victim.
You got it.
It's a sensitive topic,
It is.
but I think it's essential to address.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this download dives into the complex psychology of victimhood and explores how our own mindset and behaviors can sometimes inadvertently reinforce that feeling of helplessness.
For sure.
It's about taking back our power
Yes.
and recognizing that we have more control over our lives than we often realize.
That's right.
I think this download is going to be really eye-opening for our listener.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's not just about personal growth. It's about understanding the subtle dynamics between ourselves and others.
Right.
It's about recognizing those patterns that might be keeping us stuck and learning how to break free from them.
And speaking of breaking free, should we move on to part 2 of this deep dive
Let's do it.
and explore stop being a victim in more detail?
Sounds good. So let's dive a little deeper into this stop being a victim thing. It's
Okay.
a topic that,
Yeah.
it can be kind of challenging to confront,
Right.
but the insights that this download offers
Mm-hmm.
are incredibly valuable.
Yeah, I'm ready to unpack this one.
Okay.
It feels like we're moving from like empowering ourselves internally
Yeah.
to understanding how we interact with the world around us.
That's a great observation.
Okay.
You see this download, it explores how our mindset and behaviors can actually influence how others perceive and treat us.
Okay.
It delves into the psychology of victimhood,
Right.
and it highlights this, well, it's an unfortunate reality. But those who prey on others often target individuals who appear, vulnerable or easy to manipulate.
That's a tough pill to swallow.
It
It's
is.
almost like, we're
Yeah.
sending out signals that can either attract or repel
Exactly.
certain types of people and experiences.
That's a powerful way to put it.
Okay.
You see, the download emphasizes the importance of recognizing those signals and consciously choosing to project an image of strength and confidence,
Okay.
even if we don't always feel that way internally.
So even if we're struggling with like self-doubt or insecurity, we can still choose to present ourselves in a way that discourages those who might try to take advantage.
Absolutely. It's about taking control of the narrative and setting clear boundaries.
Okay.
The download specifically focuses on the importance of assertive body language.
Body language.
It breaks down the 3 types, passive, aggressive, and assertive. Gotcha.
And highlights how assertive body language is key to communicating our strength and self-worth.
Could you give an example of what that might look like?
Sure. Imagine you're in a situation where someone is trying to pressure you into doing something you're not comfortable with.
Right.
Passive body language might involve like avoiding eye contact, slouching, or speaking in a hesitant tone.
Yeah.
Aggressive body language could involve getting in the person's face, pointing fingers, or shouting.
Right.
Assertive body language, on the other hand, would involve standing tall, making direct eye contact, and speaking in a calm, firm voice, clearly stating your boundaries.
It's amazing how much our body language can communicate.
It is.
Without us even saying a word.
Incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
And the download emphasizes that even if you don't feel confident internally, practicing assertive body language can actually help you.
Cultivate that inner strength over time.
So it's like...
It's like faking it till you make it, but with a purpose.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like it's training your mind and body to align with a more empowered version of yourself.
You're catching on quickly.
Okay.
Now, there's this fascinating story in the download that really illustrates this concept.
Okay.
It's about a tiger cub that was raised by sheep.
Oh, I remember reading about that.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay.
The cub believed it was a sheep until a tiger showed it its reflection in a pool of water.
Right.
There's a powerful metaphor for recognizing our own inherent strength.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Sometimes we need those external reminders to shake us out of our limiting beliefs and see ourselves for who we truly are.
Yeah.
The download encourages us to shed those sheep costumes and step into our power,
Right.
just like that tiger cub.
It makes me think about those moments in life when
Yeah.
we might be playing small,
Right.
dimming our light to avoid conflict or please others. This download is a call to reclaim that inner fire.
It is.
And shine brightly, unapologetically.
That's a beautiful way to put it.
Thank you.
Now, while Stop Being a Victim focuses on empowering ourselves and our interactions with others, it also touches on the importance of creating a supportive environment for our personal growth.
You're right. There's a part in the download that talks about recognizing the subtle influences that can either support or sabotage our efforts to evolve and grow.
It reminds us that our environment, our habits, even the people we spend time with, can either nourish or deplete our energy and motivation.
It's like creating a fertile ground for our personal growth.
Yes.
It makes me think of that saying, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with.
Oh, I like that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we surround ourselves with negativity, pessimism, and inertia, it's going to be much harder to cultivate those seeds of optimism.
It will.
Determination and growth.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
It highlights the importance of being mindful of the company we keep and the energy we allow into our lives. Sometimes it might even require us to distance ourselves from those who drain our energy or discourage our dreams.
That can be a tough decision.
It can.
But the download seems to suggest that it's a necessary step.
I think so.
In creating a space where we can truly thrive.
Absolutely.
Right.
It's not about judging or blaming others. It's about recognizing our own needs and taking responsibility for creating an environment that supports our growth.
It's like setting healthy boundaries, right?
Exactly.
Just like with assertive body language.
Yeah.
It's about honoring our own worth
Yes.
and creating a space where we feel safe and empowered to be ourselves.
Exactly.
Right.
And it's interesting to note that while these downloads emphasize individual transformation,
Right.
they also acknowledge the ripple effect
Okay.
that our personal growth can have on others.
I noticed that too.
Did you?
Yeah, when we invest in our own growth, when we become more confident and empowered,
Right.
it naturally inspires those around us to do the same.
It's like a chain reaction of positive energy.
Yeah.
We become role models, showing others that it's possible to break free from limiting beliefs, overcome challenges, and create lives filled with purpose and fulfillment.
And it all starts with that first step.
It does.
That conscious choice
Yes.
to prioritize our growth
Yes.
and cultivate those qualities that will empower us to live our best lives.
Absolutely.
It's like that snowball analogy again, right?
You got it.
Yeah.
That initial effort might feel small,
Right.
but as we keep rolling, as we gain momentum,
Yeah.
the impact becomes greater and greater.
Hmm.
Not just for ourselves,
Right.
but for those around us as well.
Now, that's a powerful thought.
It is.
So as we transition to the final part of this deep dive,
Okay.
I'd like you to consider this.
Sure.
What aspect of these hypnosis downloads has resonated most deeply with you? And what's one concrete action you can commit to taking in the next 24 hours to put these insights into practice?
That's a good one.
It's incredible, isn't it, how
Yeah.
these hypnosis downloads use such simple
Right.
yet powerful techniques
Yeah,
to create, like, lasting change.
for sure.
We've talked about visualization, reframing our perspectives,
Right.
and even, like, the impact of our body language.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like we're reprogramming our minds for success.
It reminds me of the power of affirmations.
Oh, okay.
You know, those
Yeah.
positive statements we repeat to ourselves
All right, right.
to instill new beliefs.
Yeah, these downloads take that concept to a whole new level.
Right.
By combining those affirmations with like
Yeah.
vivid imagery and emotional engagement.
It's like creating a multisensory experience for our subconscious minds,
It is.
making those positive messages even more potent.
Precisely. But it's important to remember that
Okay.
positive thinking alone isn't enough.
Right.
As we've seen throughout these downloads,
Yeah.
action is key.
Action is key, yeah.
It's about aligning our behaviors
Right.
with those new beliefs we're cultivating.
It's like having a detailed map to a hidden treasure,
Yeah.
but never actually embarking on the journey.
Right.
It's the act of taking those steps,
Yes.
facing the challenges,
Yeah.
and overcoming obstacles
For sure.
that leads to the discovery of the riches that await us.
And those riches
Yeah.
might not always appear as we initially envisioned them.
That's true.
Sometimes the most valuable discoveries come from those
Okay.
unexpected detours,
Yeah.
those unforeseen challenges
Yeah.
that force us to adapt and grow and
Yeah.
uncover strengths we didn't even know we possessed.
It's like that fork in the road analogy.
Yeah.
From making big decisions,
Right.
we might think we know the right path, but sometimes those unexpected turns
Yeah.
lead to even more breathtaking destinations,
Absolutely.
to experiences that enrich our lives in ways we couldn't have predicted.
It's those experiences that shape us,
Right.
mold us into the individuals we're meant to become.
Yeah.
They teach us resilience, resourcefulness,
Yeah.
and a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us.
It's like we're constantly evolving, refining our internal compass.
Yes.
And those experiences, both the triumphs and the setbacks,
Yeah.
provide the guidance we need to navigate the ever-changing landscape of our lives.
And through it all, it's that unwavering belief in ourselves, that unshakable conviction that we're capable of achieving great things that propels us forward even when the path ahead seems uncertain or daunting.
It's like that tiger cub
Yes.
finally recognizing its true nature
Right.
and roaring with a newfound sense of power.
Exactly.
We all have that tiger within us,
We do.
that inherent strength and potential waiting to be unleashed.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into unlocking your potential,
Okay?
I encourage you to embrace those moments of self-doubt, those whispers of fear and insecurity,
Yeah.
not as roadblocks,
But
as opportunities for growth.
Okay.
See them as challenges to be overcome, as stepping stones on the path to becoming the best version of yourself.
Remember those eels?
Yeah.
Those birds?
Right.
Those musicians? Those inventors who persevered against all odds?
Those determined souls.
You too possess that same capacity for determination.
You do.
That same unwavering spirit.
It's time to unleash your inner tiger.
It is.
Embrace those challenges, pursue your passions,
Mm.
and never stop believing in the extraordinary power that
Yes.
resides within you.
And remember, We're here with you every step of the way.
We are.
Cheering you on and celebrating your victories.
Until next time.
Until next time.
Keep diving deep.
Keep diving deep.
And keep reaching for those stars.
And keep reaching for those stars.